Hey, yes, and another thing that another tragic situation that happened this week was that, well, this around the same time of my pet passing, a member of our group, the MS Society of Trinidad and Tobago, passed on, and it's always sad when to see a member lose their life. One thing I always do is that I always take heed of the age of a member when they pass on, because it's kind of sad to think that there's an average age that MS patients. Oh, it's kind of sad that there's an average age that MS patients could expect to live by, and yeah, and when she passed, it was around that age, so it's very sad. I myself, when I got Taylor, I thought that, well, this is the dog that I'm going to live out the rest of my life with, because I'm nearly 50. In my mind, I'm nearly 50. I'm 40, I'll be 43 this year. So, yeah, so I've always been cognizant of the age group, and I really felt that Taylor would be the dog to, that Taylor might actually outlive me. So yes, I don't know what this Jumbie has with me and my family. Don't understand at all. Because at the end of the day, we are experiencing our own lives and our own trials and tribulations. So there is no reason for this Jumbie to try to affect our lives negatively in the way that it has. But moving right along, I don't see zombies. Victor wrote about a Nancy. I know someone who's written comic books for Sukunya, but I don't see zombies, which is weird. But I guess there's probably books out there on zombies, so I'll look for them and see if I can read up on them. I was thinking of not naming her, because I now think of that, but let us keep it like this. And I was never gonna really name the mother, but just since it's a short story, let's keep it a certain way so you can follow through with what's going on. You okay? Your dog is okay? You're hearing something outside. Nico, jump on the bed. think I was getting something good there, you know. You know, since you're young, you learn that you have to spell out numbers, not write 10, but 10. But these days, I see people using number 10, so that might change. Come, 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 come. Come, 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 come. I'll bring you, I'll bring you, I'll bring you up. Come, come. You want to come up or you want to go outside? What do you want to do? Hmm? You want to go up? What do you want to go outside? What do you want to do? Stay here. Or you behave all yourself. Behave yourself. Behave yourself. Yeah, when our dog's name is Gigi, when we got her, that was her name, and we just never changed it. Hmm? I hope for their sakes that they live long, healthy lives. I hope Bijambi could find it within their brain to leave them alone. Because when you hurt a dog, you're not hurting the person. A pet's life, an animal's life is so short to begin with, except for like a turtle. You know, turtles almost live forever once you take care of them and treat them right. But what I would like is for them to even outlive me and to live long, healthy lives. Because I know since Taylor had passed on, that is really sad on the dogs, because you know they're like children and they don't understand what's going on. And when she first went to the doctor, my mom said that they were bouncing off the walls, acting crazy, biting and getting on and barking. So they kind of understand that there's something bad happening, that she was in pain and something happening with her. But I know that she's gone. I do feel it sometimes, like it is like when Georgie passed, Dusty, our cat, he came in here looking for Dusty, going on in Dusty was mainly in my room underneath the recliner, and he was smelling and looking around to see if he see Georgie. It was a real sad moment to see when pets realize that their close friend has passed on. And I remember it more now than I feel when I was younger. Even though we had 1,000,001 cats. I have to say that I just get to lighten the mood. I have to say that the funniest time for when a pet passed, our floorboards, well, the floor was made of wood, and my bedroom was half the size that it was, but I didn't stay in this room, but the floorboards were made of wood, and it was right along this side was a corridor, and Comet, a white compact we had years ago, the Comet lasted, well, he lived for like around 17-18 years. He peed on the floorboard, and I was downstairs and I was watching the stream of pee coming down from above, and it landed right in the fish tank. We had a fish tank, and we still have this small fish tank, and it was like a small fish tank like this with with a little fish in it, and the pea came from above the and just fell right into the fish tank. The fish tank was on a buffet, and those old time buffets that keep like glasses and decanters and stuff in it, and it fell right. That is the most, I would have to say, shocking that's for a pet that we've ever had. I don't think that the fish survived that, and I'm not making that up. Back then, we didn't really potty train our dogs. We had newspaper on the ground and stuff. That's the time. The reason why we have Maltipoos now, I mention it, is because when we had Comet and Phoebe, we had a really bad flea and tick problem. These dogs are Maltipoos, and they're not supposed to bring in a whole set of fleas and ticks. So they got one or two from our pet. Dusty is always out the house now. And something you should know about Dusty. Dusty is we call him a special needs cat because he can't cover up his poop. All our dogs and stuff and our pets, there's, yeah, I guess you can say it's funny. Sometimes they kind of have something off about them, but we love them all the same. I think with Gigi, she snaps a lot, and the person who's selling us says that she's likes to bite. And like Nico, he has a quiet, sad disposition, but with Gigi's really bringing him out of it. And like I said, Taylor, we called her long legs and stuff like that, reason why I named her Taylor, I used to call her Taylor Swift, because when she first came here, it was a joke that she didn't have a tail. It was a bobtail. It wasn't curled like these dogs. So I named her Taylor Swift, so she'll always have a tail. But we call her Taylor. And as you can see, just like years going by, all the dogs have a run of the house. Because Comets and Phoebe were everywhere before we start. We got to put a little cage, a little kennel for them in the back downstairs. Anyway, focus. I hope you all are enjoying what I'm writing, but I know I'm keeping myself back. I don't see myself writing for another 20 minutes. I say what I was going to write this for the rest of the weekend, and I start late because you see I got it wrong with my eyebrows and my lipstick. It's brown for the eyebrows and lipstick not right, because I guess I was just feeling, this is my first live without Taylor, and I was just feeling a bit off and a bit sad, but I'm doing this for Taylor. Her death kind of propelled me to go in this direction, anyway. At the end of the day, yeah, the pets and stuff are distraction and keeping me back from doing what I want to do. Whoop. One thing. Sorry. And had I didn't have a real idea of how this conversation would go. I just knew that I had to get to do this conversation and gist of it. But really and truly, until you're actually in the moment writing and typing, you're not really sure what to say or do, you know. Whoa! I She find my medication. It was underneath the pillow. I keep it close to make sure I take it, because lots of times I'll just be. Sometimes I just don't bother to take it. They try to take it at night. I'm ready to go to sleep. Okay. Nothing else there. Nothing else there. Oh, I have a special story to tell you all about Taylor. I didn't share it with in the video I was going to talk about her. Once a night a few weeks ago, I won't tell it now, I'll tell it another time. I talked too long initially for this type in here. I don't like to mention her name too often. Because sometimes I feel like it just sets them off. Like I feel like, let me see. Like, see Gigi there, TT, as I mentioned, TT name. That is where TT used to be. Wait a minute, I used to call her TT. I just and I've been doing this for too long. The battery on the camera is really low, but I know I have this is really the main camera. This is the real main camera. See here where it says Jambi? It's embodied spirit of a dead person. Okay. I don't think that this is a normal statement in America or any part of the globe, but Trinidadians say please God regularly. So be tomorrow, please God, as like a salutation or embellishment. And that is it. I know, one of these days I'm going to go through what I am writing, and I'm going, well, my lives, and I'm going to create, just join up all the writing together in one thing, and all the talk, and separate it from all the talk, and give all the writing parts names. But I'm tired right now and I'm really hungry, so I'm going to cut it short. I might go again this afternoon, but the reason for that is because I don't really like applying the makeup, so is to do the long sessions is so that my makeup is on, and that's how it is, because I know this is a live thing. Alright, so my makeup is on, so I try to type and do the work, because I'll have to go about doing the work again another time. Okay, right. I know that's stupid. That's ridiculous. But this is how it is. Thank you, my lovelies, for joining me. I hope you like and you really appreciate that passage. My goal is to create a short story. Very short story. Okay? Right. And now, my apologies for taking so long and for so much time passing. I know I have to become more steady in my work. I can't rely on stuff. I think that I was putting, well, yeah, for the past like 20 something years, I didn't have like anything to depend on to write. And to be fair, I would wake up early in the morning and start to write. That was, I really had a schedule when I was doing SBRA books 1, 2, 3, and even 4. But then I became sloppy in my attentiveness to work on those things. And to be honest, it was because more of my work I was doing outside, they say that, like when I had a job or something, it just life itself was a distraction. Even as you're seeing these dogs playing about here, you know, that's life, and having to deal with life became a distraction. And I have MS, so, and sometimes I have a relapse, and that would just keep me back. And the type of jobs I would take would put a strain on me. I don't want to use that as an excuse, but I realized that all of these things turned out to be a distraction that I could do without. Yes, so I think I know what I need to do to really get my brain and myself into focus. I hope I do well and I could really maintain this kind of focus. Well, fingers crossed, I could. Oh, and one other thing I just want to mention, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I took Taylor's ashes to church and got it blessed, and the priest blessed it. And he didn't make me feel foolish about it at all. And I'm so happy for that. That's the one thing, like I was mentioning before. And a dog's life is just so iffy, really. And the dogs don't, and pets and animals don't live long, and they depend on us random citizens to survive. I actually am not bigging up myself, but before TT passed on, I gave her collar to someone, and I bought a chain for her, and my sister didn't like it because it's a regular silver chain, and I bought another strap for her to use, and I believe I gave the chain to the same person. And I have to check around here to make sure I have you all saw all these things. I push everything into one corner to make things more accessible to Titi as she was sick. I believe she was poisoned, but that is just, and I can't prove that, but her illness, so to speak. So, other than that, I haven't accused anybody of anything. I just mean that she ingested some kind of toxin. And when we went to the vet, we were like, what could be affecting her? We just name things. Chocolate, we don't give them chocolate. We don't give them this and that. But I was wondering, my mom had mentioned a few weeks ago about putting, she sprayed pawpaw. She was going to spray pawpaw leaves, but I thought that might have been it. But then she said, no, she didn't spray the pawpaw leaves. And I know I usually give them pawpaw leaves, but I haven't been. And they haven't been around the pawpaw tree. So we don't know what had gotten into her, but luckily it did not affect the other two dogs. Maybe because this is a kind of foreboding time, because Georgie passed on at this time. That last year, that I kind of suspected something was going to happen. That's just inside of me. I believe that God tells us stuff and gives us hints, and that is my spiritual belief, that God is with us all the time, right through. He knows and sees everything. And a part of me believes that a lot of people say that life and death is in the power of the tongue. A part of me just doesn't believe that. A part of me believes that some things are written in stone. Yeah, you might have control of your own fate depending on what you decide to do and stuff and that kind of thing, and I believe that regardless, Taylor is with God, and that God looks after us, like I mentioned before, like what my mom taught, my grandmother taught me, that you can't get past God. God sees all and He knows all, and you might be, and I always believe too that this here, this skin and bones, this here is here to trick us. This whole world, a part of me believes that this whole world God created to trick all of us into doing the wrong thing. Because the main thing for God is that He gets believers and righteous people and good people, people who do the right thing, into heaven. That is all God cares about, All God cares about is getting the right people into heaven. So, our relationships, everything that is created here on earth, money, cars, fame, I, with my job, the most important thing for me to do was to get certain things because that's what I do whenever I get it. I will explain that there's a segment I actually want to talk really those things in, but about it was important for me to get my big screen TV, my exercise bike, because I had one. I bought one a few years ago, but it mashed up, so I need to get a new one because of my MS. Whenever I get a new job, I try to put things in place so that I can live a certain way, and so I don't have to depend on anyone once that job gone. It's a long story, Alex. I said I have to create a separate segment in my life to explain about me, how I take care of myself, my MS, my job, what I normally. I'm hoping to stop doing that kind of thing. Okay, forget that. What I mean to say is that everything here is here to trick us into doing the wrong thing. Posturing and everything is here to trick us to do the wrong thing. And so, yes, we're here to you here, and I am here, and everyone here is here to take care of each other. But the main thing is to do the right thing. And all that matters is that is why everybody dies. All that matters is that what's going to happen to you at the end of your life. Yeah, that is why sometimes I like to think about um, Nobel and the Nobel Peace Prize. I remember the story. I believe it is that his obituary was posted in the papers prematurely. He was not dead, and he was shocked at the bad things people were saying about him, and the newspapers what they were saying about him because they thought he was dead. And that is why he created the Nobel Prize, the Peace Prize, and all that. That is why he created the prize out of all the money he had. He was like, "This is how people are going to remember me when I'm dead." And then, but at the same time, the memories and how people think about you and stuff when you're gone. Is that what really matters when you're dead? Or is it what happens to yourself and your soul and your body when you're dead? Yes, I'm supposed to have a segment where I talk about my spiritual belief system and stuff like that. Um, but I expound more on that separate to me typing. So it's called Baine inspiration, something like that. I'm hoping to help other persons out with that, like when they do that. Because you never know, I believe that God reaches out to people, and you never know, you find yourself in crisis, and then you will be like, oh, And it's that one voice that you hear over and over telling you something that you need to hear in that moment that really helps you out. That is my spiritual belief. God does not forsake us. People might be zombies in our lives and create fatigue for us to have to deal with. But God sees all and He knows all. And to Him, it's frustrating, but in it, God's mind is like, everybody dies and He takes care of everybody. This person is harming you, but when this person is dead, their soul, He's gonna pluck it out and He's just gonna drop it out and get it to the devil. And that is His point. Is his belief is that the world, the way it is, works. And it is unfortunate that bad things happen to us, but He is taking care of the good souls. He's taking care of all the dogs, the cats, the cows, and everything when they pass on. And taking care of all our pets. When they pass on, and then He's like, He knows that you're suffering, that you're sad, and everything, but He sees all and He knows all. And He's taken care of the bad persons. There's no lamb's blood on that person's, no amount of lamb's blood on that person's house is going to make the spirit pass over their house. They are going to the devil. Just the way it is. And there's nothing to see there for Him to say that He doesn't believe there's anything for Him to have to explain. Okay? So, like, I didn't accuse anyone of poisoning my dog or my cat. I looked up what was going on with her, and it was like a slowly developing process or toxin that was just in my head. And I was talking to the vet, and we were saying like what could be causing this thing to her. And the vet didn't know, and one of the vets offered to do an autopsy on her for free, on our dog. So when Taylor was alive, the vet saw Taylor the evening before she passed on. So Taylor got a lot of love and care from everyone. The only thing I could say that I regret. The only thing I could say that I regret is that I wanted to see her organs. She got a multitude of blood tests that did not show anything, and I wanted to see her organs. And it wasn't until after she had passed they said that her organs were experiencing a lot of issues, like her liver and her kidneys and stuff like that. So that is what I regret most of all. I wanted to see her organs, but I wasn't able to get that opportunity, and I thought we had more time, that she would get better as time went on, and that did not take place. My poor cat. Okay, this is Dusty. Bye. Yeah, and unlike the dogs, Dusty really sheds. Okay, so I'm gone too long already. Thank you for joining me, I hope you enjoy this passage. And if you would much rather me take these passages separate to the videos and leave them in a structured way available so you all could read, I'll appreciate letting me know. All right. Bye.